Alright, so I've done a little bit of this and that, patching up here and there, like the slits you guys saw, and I've cut those off, sanded them smooth, got the foot repaired, just going over my list in my head. I've been picking away at this, and most recently I got the back supported from the inside. So now that's not floppy, which is great. So I got to trim this off, and on the bottom I did some work, so I'll trim that off. So we'll get to this real quick. I think I only have one more section I want to cover up with veneer on either side here, and then I think I'll be able to do the interior and kind of wrap it up. I got to figure out if I want to seal this. Well, I know I want to seal it because this stuff is still so fragile, but I don't want it to go darker, but I may have to. So I don't know if I want to lacquer it or shellac it. I wish I could just soak it in and seal it but not make it darker. So I don't know what to do. But I also have a spot carved out here. It looks like they had a strap around it or something because it wore away the leather. And so I just cleaned that up. So I just cut either side of that because I have a plan for that little area. So yeah, let's trim this up. So on the back here, I've patched that in. It's a few layers deep. Once I got that, I'm gonna sand it and then flush this up. But I don't want to lay it on its back because I don't want to ruin Kelly's handwriting or anything else. So I'll probably just put it on the edge here while I work on it. Alright, I got some small seams that are too small for a little veneer without me breaking them open. So all I'm doing is using some CA glue, and it's a medium, so it's going to drift down into that crack. I don't want to use a thin because it's too thin, and obviously a gap filler or a thick won't work. So I'm just doing a section at a time here. I'm kind of wiggling it, make sure it's down in there, and I'm going to spray it with my accelerant and then hold it shut and then work my way up. I just have a little bit right here, and that should be good. Alright, so the last strip I think I want to do is I'm going to cover up this last ply damage right there, and then this top little chip missing. And then I think I'm just going to polish it up because right now it's structurally good to go. And then I have to deal with, there's that stripe I can show you. I'm going to do something in there, and then we'll seal it all up. I could do that entire strip around the edge banding because it's kind of missing, but it's not really going to add anything to it because once it curves, you're going to still see the plywood no matter what. So I'm just going to leave that where it was. But this part really kind of bothers me, this natural part. So, sorry, from here all the way around the back, I'm going to do that. So, let me cut a piece. And I'm just using, for this curve, I'm not trying to clamp it any ways. I'm using contact cement to go all the way around it. So, let me cut that strip to tailor fit, and then we'll make it work. These are some of the best scissors I own. I got them from a art professor that passed away that used to have my job basically. Anyways, he was retired at the time. He's passed away now, but amazing. I don't know what they are. I mean, I know they are. I have numbers on them and stuff, but no real brand. But really well designed, really, really nice to work with. So I leave them a little proud so that way I can sand them down. I don't have to try and tailor fit it to a curve that's irregular. So I'll fit that in place and we'll be good to go. So that's number one. Number two is on the back, all the way from here to the other side. So all I'm doing is I'm cutting these to a clean edge so I don't have to worry about a ragged fit. So I'm just angling them or cutting them straight. This one I'll probably just cut straight. I'm just cutting that last little bit of veneer off. All right, that little bit's done. I'll sand and trim that off and we'll be almost done. All right, so here's what I've decided to do. I've got it all fixed up to what I'm happy with. I can always change it because it's mine. But I'm gonna do a sealer coat of shellac. This is shop-made shellac stuff, you know, just broken down. But I know it's gonna get darker. I'm gonna have to be okay with that because of the condition of the leather. No matter what I do, it's just gonna keep rubbing off. And the grain is just, you know, trash because it's just junk plywood. So I'm not worried about that, but it's gonna darken the whole thing up, which I'm just gonna have to be okay with. So I'm gonna do a light coat over the whole thing just to seal it all in, and we'll see how it turns out. This wood is so thirsty. This is gonna take so much. Myself, this used to be black, so that's okay that it looks like that because I was loving that all the different tones, but this will look good, and it definitely made that pop. My nice Kelly's Violin, Mine Don't Touch. I just love it. So I'm gonna put a coat on the sides and the back, and then that'll be that. And then I gotta finish the top off apparently. So we'll do the sides and the top. Now this cherry will continue to get darker over its lifetime, so I'm excited about that. This is one of those cases that I definitely could, well, funny pun on words, but this is one of those scenarios that you could do a total restoration. I could take off all the hinges, clean up all the brass, you know, make it brand new looking. I could cover it in leather and make it all go away, all the flaws, but I think there's so much beauty in this that that would be a real shame to hide it all. So this kind of goes along with the project that I've been working on with a violin where I'm learning to play. And so this will be the forever home kind of case of that project. And so stay tuned in for that one. It's coming up in a year or two, I guess, because I'm just now starting to learn. But I'll put out more information on that project later on, I guess. We'll let that dry, and maybe one more sealant coat in a couple places, but then I just got to deal with the inside, and we're ready to go. Alright, I'm wrapping up this violin case. I actually really dig the color. So this has got a couple coats of shellac on it to seal in anything that was flaking off. It all feels good. Nothing coming off. And it kind of highlighted Kelly's comment here. And so in response to that, what I got excited about was, I don't know if she had a strap or they had a strap or whatever around it in a couple places, but there's like a very distinct bar that I was able to cut out. There's another one on the back. But I thought I might do some decorative little ribbon kind of thing here. But I think I'm gonna do what Kelly did. And so I just wrote a note to her and to whoever gets the case next. And it just says, "Thanks, Kelly. I'll take it from here, Daniel." And so I'm gonna put that right across the case. And then once I oil it, it'll match the color a lot better. And if I don't like it, I'll take it off or put something over it. So yeah, because I mean, this is my case. I'm gonna live with it for a while. I think it's kind of exciting. So I'll put this on the outside, and then I have a little bit of work left to do on the inside. And then she'll be all wrapped up and done. But all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little contact cement and put this on there, and I'll show you when it's done. All right, so we can see there's our text on there. So the last little thing that I think I really need to do on the inside is I would like to have something to strap down the violin, not just like compress it in there. So I fixed a little drawer, or not drawer, I don't know what you should call it, little cubby, little foldy thing, I don't know. Anyways, but what I want to do is I want to build something here. So what I've done is I've foamed out a little piece here with a strap built inside of it. This will then go right there and will strap down the neck, right? So I just need to cover this in fabric and then glue it in place. I've got this purple fabric like I showed before that I was so impressed with the match of it. It is super similar to what's in there. So I'm just gonna spray adhesive this and stick it on there. So I've already sprayed it off camera here. I know I'm gonna make a total mess of this thing. Come on. One of these things that you dry fit and it goes great, and then you glue it up and it is tough.
we go. Little block. This will be glued in place. We'll do a little test fit real quick. What it's going to look like. So that will sit right in there. So we'll glue that in place. And we're almost good to go. All right, so I've got the block in there and I've got this set up. I was going to show you guys. So this one fits in snugly, just nice. I can strap it down. So that little block works out well and it fits nicely. But the violin that I wanted this to work for is the one that I'm learning on. And with that in mind, you see how this fits in just snugly. Mine does not. Mine actually, see if I can get this here, the pegs are too wide that way. I can force it, but then the lid obviously won't fit and it's not the right decision. So I'm trying to decide, because I leave my pegs long so that they can slowly wear the holes of the peg box open, and then you can actually change out the pegs to full size because these are reamed smaller. So knowing that I'm going to have this instrument over my lifetime, I don't know if I want to ream out the pegs just a little more, I mean like a couple of millimeters, and cut off the extra pegs so that this fits in there really nicely, or just wait for a few years. I don't know. Yeah, so I didn't realize that until I was just putting this in here a little while ago, but that's the future of this case, is for this specific violin. So I don't know, we'll see what we do. But for now, it can hold this one, which is great, and we can store it away. So I think that concludes our little Kelly's violin, mine don't touch scenario. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching this. Yeah, let's move on to the next thing.